Well, this is the big day. I'm going to switch over the water from the current system to the new system. The problem is half of the new system is not in place yet, but I've got a few days where I won't be interrupted, so I've got to string these together to get this done. It starts right here where that pipe comes through the wall. I've got to divert that over to the laundry room. To get ready for that, I put the black stuff on the wall here, and the pipe will run along here and go into the laundry room, where it will fill this tank. Of course, that tank will be in the laundry room at that point. I've got quite a few things that I have to do first. I've got to get the walls insulated and drywall on there, because I won't be able to get in after and do the drywall behind the tank. So I'm not actually going to film a lot of this. I'll take some pictures along the way and string those together after this. The point is I have to get this done fairly quickly, and I'm not going to have time to set up shots or anything like that. So I need to drain the water tank amongst other things, and to do that I turned that off this morning and had a nice long shower. To try to drain out as much hot water as I could on something useful. It'll probably be the only shower I'll have for the next few days, so I'll need one after this is all finished. Yeah, it's the end of the first day. I got quite a bit done. I still don't have any water though. It's about 5 to 9. I just got back from the Home Depot where I bought some more fittings and parts. I've got a couple things I've got to do tonight before I wrap up. Alright, well, I got the drywall on the walls in the corner there, and I've got the tank put in, and I've got the line coming over to it all fixed up, and I've got quite a bit of the electrical done. This is a shut-off switch that feeds the float switch that I have rigged up here. That's from a sump pump, and basically the way that works is as the float falls, it turns the pump on, and as it comes up, it turns it off. I've also got the other pump installed, as much as that anyway, and I got the pressure tank over there and trying to get the fittings put on that so I can get that set up. Here we're having a look inside the tank. What you see down there is the water from the well. The first thing after I reconnected everything was turned on the pump briefly. There's quite a bit of murk in it, you could say, and that's mainly from this poly line that I moved and knocked a lot of stuff, sediment I guess, off the inside. I ran it until it ran clear, and this is what I have. Now I've got to pump this out of the tank. Before I got started this morning, I put some chlorine in the well to disinfect it. Not that there's a problem with bacteria, it's to eliminate that source of odor, the sulfur smell, and the chlorine does that in a high enough concentration. What I want to do is I want to get everything into the system as clean as it possibly can be before I, while it's being filled up. Tomorrow I'm hoping to get the main parts of the plumbing done and the water heaters tied in. I'll have to see. The new bathroom upstairs is still not ready to use yet, so I've got to temporarily connect up the old washroom for now until the new one's ready. Okay, well, it's about 12 o'clock on Saturday. I just got to this point here where the expansion tank, or the pressure tank, is installed, and the pump is connected, and I've actually turned it on to see where my leaks are going to be. I say where my leaks are going to be because I know it's going to leak, and sure enough it did, and it took 4 tries before I actually stopped it leaking. The major leak was right down here. where this screws in here, I just put pipe dope on there, and I really should have put tape on there as well. Also here a little bit, so I broke these two and I put tape on both, plus the pipe dope. I also had a slight leak here at this joint here, mainly because I didn't tighten these bolts when I put it together. So I snugged those up and everything's okay now. Also had a leak up here. This wasn't tightened in enough, and it's still leaking just a small bit around this, but there's a rubber gasket there, and I'm pretty sure this is going to stop. Right now it's been sitting here holding 40 pounds of pressure for the past half hour, and I haven't seen any new water. I've got two 3/4 lines coming up here with two shutoff valves. Shutoff valves I put mainly because I wanted to test this and I didn't want to cap the line, so shutoff valves would be a good thing to have anyway. This one on this side will go to a filter for the rest of the house. This one over here is just for this laundry room and the outside sillcock. I finished the connections. Now it's filling the first water heater. This is the first one, the big one, and it's 285 liters. Well, it's about 7 o'clock in the evening on Saturday, and I have my water back. I don't have the water heaters turned on yet. I'm only going to turn on the small one first. And that should take, I don't know, an hour to heat up the water. But good to have it back. It took a while, but both tanks got completely filled, and the aeration tank is filling up again now. Everything's working well. I've still got a few odds and ends left to do as far as the aeration tank goes. I've got to set up the on-off switch for the float switch. But as far as plumbing leaks, I haven't had one. This PEX system is amazing. I haven't had one single joint that's been leaking, so that's amazing. I've done a lot of copper in the past, and as careful as I am, I could never get it so that I wouldn't have at least one leak. And there are no shortage of joints either. I've got a lot here. I didn't make straight runs like a lot of people do. I did it the traditional way with a trunk line, a 3/4 inch trunk line, and then branches that are 1/2 inch to the fixtures. Here's the aerator running. That's a 7-inch air stone down the bottom that I showed earlier, and this air pump. Originally I had reservations about this being able to pump enough air, but as you can see, that's not the case. I just finished putting that bracket up there for the float switch, and I wanted to show a little bit of that. What I needed for this tank was a bulletproof type solution for filling it up. It can't overfill. If it overfills, it'll spill out. I mean, I need to positively turn off the pump when it reaches the top here. So I took the float and switch from another sump pump, and here I've mounted the switch upside down so that when the lever is up, it's off. When it's down, the pump comes on, and then the floats up and turns it off. Now to accomplish that, I had to put an extension on the rod, and that goes into that bracket where it's loosely held. It's just free to move. That allows the tank to drain down about 18 inches. I'm not sure how many gallons that is, probably around 30. Before the pump comes on to fill it up again. So I've got one more addition to make to this particular arrangement, and that's when the pump comes on to fill the tank, I want the aeration to come on for a time also. Currently, it's on the timer. It plugs in right there, and it's set to come on at around 12 o'clock at night, and it runs for about 3 hours, and then it's set to run in the morning. It just finished actually for about 3 hours. That's not ideal. The better way is to have it so that it comes on after the tank fills and runs for approximately 2 to 3 hours to aerate that new water that just came in. I also have to change the way the water comes in here. I want to add a pre-filter to that, and that'll mount right over here. A similar type arrangement as this one, except it will filter the water before it comes in. What I'm finding is I'm getting a little bit of sediment coming through. I don't know if that's what's still lingering from changing everything over, but it'd be best to filter that out before it goes into the tank. There are some things that I'm not going to cover with this. I've got to cover the tank with insulation to stop it from sweating. Right now it sweats and it's making the floor wet. So I've got to box that in with foam insulation so that it stops that from happening. There are a few other things I've got to do with this system, and I'll have more detail on that in the website article that will go along with this when I get that done. That should be coming well within the next month or two. In the meantime, now with the water situation straightened out, I can carry on with the washroom upstairs, get the fixtures put in, get some drywall on, get that ready to use, and then I can tie in the new drain system into the old and take out all the old plumbing. So once the washroom upstairs is done, I'll be back down here in the basement to try to get this done. I've got lots of OSB to go on the floor, drywall to go on the walls, insulation to put in, wiring to do. The objective is to get this basement done so I can actually use the space for storage and various other things while I do work upstairs. Unfortunately, I can't get the ceiling done because I can't get the radiant heating system in yet. That's going to have to wait until I get a little bit more done around here. Then I can get the radiant heating system in, and then I can close the ceiling in.